Within the last hour, Governor Kemp announced a new executive order that gives restaurants a little more leeway, but keeps other businesses closed a while longer.
Hope Ford is live at the Capitol. Hope, now some places now close until the end of the month.
Yeah, that's right. The governor extended his executive order for bars and live music venues. They'll have to remain closed until May 31st. But the governor is pulling back some restrictions on other businesses. For child care facilities, we learned they will be allowed to have 20 children in classrooms at one time instead of 10. Kemp says this will allow more child care facilities to open across the state, which he hopes will help parents who are headed back to work. They will have to follow some strict guidelines, as always, including some temperature screenings. The governor is also revising some criteria for gyms, but social distancing and strict sanitation rules still apply. And finally, listen to what he says about restaurants expanding their business.
Moving forward, we will allow 10 patrons per 300 square feet of public space in restaurants and dining rooms, and increase the party size per table from 6 to 10 people.
Now, besides businesses, Governor Kemp says you can expect to see a sharper increase in the number of positive cases, but that is because they are ramping up testing in long-term care facilities. Right now, long-term care facilities make up 20% of the positive cases in Georgia.
All right, thanks a lot, Hope. Something that got my attention because I have 4 kids and a lot of parents looking at Aisha is the fact that the governor said that day camps for children can start as of May 14th. So that is Thursday because school is ending. More parents going back to work. So day camps, not overnight camps, will start opening as of Thursday.